But one of the biggest reasons was that I could customize the way it looked. So every time someone came across the print shop, it was sort of like a moment where we could show and communicate as much as we could about ourselves to someone, and being able to control what the booking link looked like when someone landed on it was a big deciding factor for like, okay, this is worth it for us to pay.
I am here with Esteban Pulido from the Los Angeles print shop, who's kindly agreed to be on our customer showcase interview. Thank you very much and
Yeah.
welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us a little bit about what you do.
Before anything, I'm an artist, and I work with photography in my own work. And I found that printing was just as an important step for making my own art as deciding what I photographed and how I photographed it. So being able to control what the physical object that I was making, the photograph, was crucial. So as soon as I got a printer, I started making my own work and started making prints for friends, and then friends and friends and friends and friends. And in a really beautiful, organic way, I got to making prints for a lot of different people. And that's how Los Angeles Print Shop came about. Because I have these printers that are kind of pricey and large and take a lot of expertise and time to figure out and know how to use properly, I feel an internal mandate to remove that obstacle for others, to make it possible for them to also make their artwork in print. So I offer a pay what you can sliding scale for artists. So say there's an artist that is just starting out, fresh out of school, I want them to have the same access to making their art as someone that is getting funded by a gallery or a museum to have their art printed. So I make sure that they can also make that print, where the option is no print, and then they don't participate in that show that they got their image into, or they don't get their photographs seen by people.
Okay, so many layers there that you talked about to unpack. Starting from the act of printing piece is an act of art as well. The quality of that means something to you, through to sharing that with other people and then making sure that it's accessible and inclusive. So, but my real question, therefore, is how does an artist turn into a business person? How do you match up those two sides of yourself?
For me, the way I think takes a lot of spreadsheets, a lot of systems to place on top of what I do in order to make it work. So You Can Book Me was the first automation I added into my business. Because I care so much about making the work as if it were my own, I also enjoy spending time and talking to each artist that comes in, knowing why they're doing the work that they're doing. And that was starting on the phone or an email and back and forth exchange, which was really wonderful. But it created this obstacle of they can email me, their person will email me when they have the time, and then I'll email when I receive their email and then have the time to write back. And we would kind of go back and forth like that. And when I added You Can Book Me, I was at a point where I felt that was burdening the ability for me to work on client work and also to work on the actual client that I was trying to connect with. Because now it became completely accessible for them to book whenever they wanted to book, and for me to check out that booking whenever I received it.
What keeps you up at night? What do you worry about?
That this is a slow process. So right now, we just finished an exhibition a couple weeks ago of about 30 prints, which is not super huge. It's not hundreds of prints, but we're set up for low volume, high quality. And 30 prints is just beyond the easy to execute at high quality. It just borders on like, all right, now we're almost high volume for us. And also we want to maintain the high quality. And that took a lot of planning. And it took a lot of thinking through how much time we think each step of the way will take. And I have a good sense of that. But once I add in other people that also come in to help at the print shop, now it can't just be in my head. And I think that's what lately has been keeping me up the most, making that transition from everything being in my head and then sort of receive and execute to how do I move packets of information within the print shop in a way that isn't immediately, it's not linear.
That itself is a different form of scheduling, isn't it? I mean, people do use scheduling software for that. And I'm just thinking, the best systems that will help you there are AI systems now, because you can describe the human jobs that you're doing. I mean, I don't know if you're a fan of AI or not, but I think that there are some AI work sort of project management tools that will help you on that sort of human side where you've got multiple threads of work going on and then you're trying to
Mhm.
figure out what can I put in at the top when things are going through the funnel and having to come out at the other end. And that,
Yeah.
I mean, that is stressful, presumably because if you're good at it because it's your experience that you know how to do it, but how do you pass that information on to anybody else? How do you teach anybody else how to think like that?
Yeah. Yeah. I think a lot of it is empowering the other people that are helping, making sure they feel confident in whatever silo of tasks they have, that they know that I trust them to do it and that they have all the tools and information they need to do it.
You've had an account since 2021. So before then, were you in business before you started to use YouCanBookMe, or did you say it was one of the first things you adopted? Like, what was the difference before you used the tool?
I was in business before that, but mostly as a side. One of the several different things I was doing on the side, in addition to printing, commercial photography, and teaching more classes. But as the print shop grew on its own, I was able to shed this side project and this side project and kind of like put more into the print shop itself. And the deciding factor was just that it was taking a lot of time to organize and like produce the first step. It just took so much time that it did not feel like I was able to serve the print shop or serve the customers well anymore.
Hmm.
Uh, and then that switch kind of was like an opening of a floodgate. That just with that on its own, I didn't have to spend the time on that anymore, and neither did the other person, neither did the client. We could just sort of like meet in the middle with a small effort on their side and a small effort on my side. We can meet in the middle.
How do you manage your availability?
We're by appointment only. So I have a clear sense of what's about to happen because I can say like no bookings can happen within a certain number of hours.
What's your notice period before they can book the next available appointment?
I don't remember what I have it set to right now, but I've set different things depending on what's going on at the print shop. When it's particularly busy, I'll make sure that it's like not anything less than 24 hours.
Hmm.
Lots of times it'll just be 12 hours. But what I can say is that I just recently upgraded to like the paid plan from the free. And one of the biggest reasons, there were a couple that let me control availability a little bit better. But one of the biggest reasons was that I could customize the way it looked.
Hmm.
Because so much about the print shop is about telling a person how we think before they even get to talk to us,
Hmm.
in order to set ourselves apart from some of the other bigger print shops in the city, which might have like many more employees, ability to manage more clients, have a bigger marketing budget or have a marketing budget. So every time someone came across the print shop, it was sort of like a moment where we could show and communicate as much as we could about ourselves to someone, and being able to control what the booking link looked like when someone landed on it was a big deciding factor for like, okay, this is worth it for us to pay. I mean, it looked already good enough in that I didn't feel like it would detract from the experience when somebody landed on the default You Can Book Me.
Have any of your clients ever commented on that or anything else about the booking page that you think stands out?
No, I think no one's commented on the design, but I think it's not because they don't appreciate it. I think it's because it's fits so well in their expectations for what a creative business would be like. The compliments I have gotten are what I was sharing earlier, that they're just thankful that they can easily make that first step with us without
Mhm.
having to like decide what they say or like make a big email.
I love the fact that you're doing a kind of incubator for new artists and supporting them and mentoring them and giving them this opportunity because you're giving them that sense of validity that if you print their stuff and you're not asking them for any money, it's because you think there's something worthwhile and valuable in that. And I'm sure you're making a huge difference to how they feel as artists to be supported like that by you. I'm going to finish this interview now with kind of standard questions that we ask, which are kind of quick fire. There's no right or wrong answer. Would you rather throw out your phone or your laptop?
If I just isolate it in a question for business, I'll throw out my laptop.
Would you rather, and this is interesting given your pay what you can policy, get a new customer or double your sales to an existing customer?
Yeah, just get a new customer.
Get a new customer. Would you rather speak at a huge conference, talk about the things that you've been talking about with me today to help promote your business or make a new sale?
Same. It's speaking at a conference. To me, it feels like the same path.
Would you rather work with a team of experts or passionate learners?
passionate learners, but I feel very grateful that I've been able to grow the print shop and bring people in that are kind of both.
All right. Thank you so much, Esteban. It's been a real pleasure talking to you. And also, thank you so much for using our tool over the last 4 years. And I feel like in a very small way, You Can Book Me is also a part of your project and your journey of helping other artists in your area because that you picked us as well as to be one of your trusted partners. It's a real privilege for us. So I really appreciate it. Thank you.
No, thank you for your time, and you absolutely are.